Hello everyone, how's it going? It's Brandon. I am in my new apartment. New setup. Same old vegan.
No, not again.
This is my new apartment. I moved in here like November 1st. It's been a lot of setting up. It's been a lot of holiday stress and life stress lately, but I'm here. I'm 3 chapters behind on One Piece. I'm here today. Maybe not to do all 3 chapters, but I'm gonna do at least 1067, maybe 1068 right now. But tell me if you like this new setup. I got my little shoji folding screen, whatever you want to call this. Got my little book stand right here. You might recognize some of these people and some of these little items right here. Got my microphone. Maybe I should be over there more. I don't know. Hopefully waves are picking up, so hopefully it'll be good. It's a different setup. It's my favorite setup so far. Oh, you might recognize that too. Yeah, maybe. I'm super excited to read One Piece again, and just really excited to be making these videos consistently again, and I have a feeling 2023 will be a good year for this channel. I do not have a bar stool, obviously, and I don't have a tablet, so I'm using my girlfriend's laptop. It kind of folds backwards completely, and it has like a tablet mode, so I'm pressing these keys, but nothing is happening. Yeah, so I'm gonna try reading like this for now. Maybe I'll try a setup in the future where I'm sitting down right here, but I want to stand up. I want to stand up for these One Piece videos. I want to stand. I want to stand. So we're gonna try this standing setup right here with this folding laptop. Oh God, I do know how to work this thing. Okay, cool. The keyboard should be turned off. Should be turned off right now. Okay, cool. Let's get going. Hopefully we're going to find out more about Vegapunk this chapter and what his situation is going on. 1067 Punk Records. We got Caesar and Judge. An Emotionless Excursion, Volume 24. What's your name again? Judge versus Caesar. Good God. I fucking hate all those people. Bonnie, what happened to your head? You're supposed to have a big, huge head like a light bulb. Oh, I really let it grow too long, so I cut it. No. Oh my God, it's like an apple. Not like getting a haircut. Okay, so he doesn't seem to be like a prisoner here. Real, even has a little diagram of the real head here. About the time when I first met you, I was going to be the height of a giant before long. Height of a giant? It was just gonna keep growing his head? Stories always said you had a large head. It was like a hot air balloon. Well, you see, the truth is I've got brain, bang, bang. Oh my God, can you not talk? Well, you see, the truth is that I've got the brain fruit, so I'm a brain man. I can store all kinds of knowledge without limits of any kind, but my brain physically grows to accommodate the amount of data it holds. It gives me a preternaturally gifted mind, an infinite data bank. Okay, did not ever think that we were gonna see a brain fruit. Honestly, it's a little weird. I thought Vegapunk was just a really smart dude, but I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Sad that it's a guy too. And thanks to that, I have the world's largest brain, which continues growing to this day. To this day? Where is it? That's amazing. You are good at medicine too, Dr. Vegapunk? Of course. Oh, Chopper fangirling. If you cut your head down, does that mean you're now dumb? Do not trifle with a genius, my boy. This apple top is an antenna. Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't think he is a captive here. I guess he's just kind of off doing his own thing. Because I'm guessing he receives all the signals from the other Vegapunks. Witness the tippity top of the island on the underside of the massive eggshell. It says Punk Records. That is the storage space for my brain. Bro, that's huge. What? That seems too big. Thanks to his antenna, I can connect to it with brainwaves even at this distance. There's no issue at all. Okay, wow. So like, but still, if he has a brain that can hold any amount of information, was he just like always continuously learning stuff? Like, so does that mean he never forgets anything too? Earlier, I believe you met a young girl calling herself Vegapunk. That was one of my clone offshoots. There are 6 of them on this island. You're a ninja. Luffy, you're a ninja. Each one of them is an expert in one of my necessary facets. All 6 of them together possess one complete copy of my personality, but they can do 6 times as much. Copy of his personality. Okay. I thought that it was going to be this Vegapunk was just kind of dumb and kind of like a hollow shell, and the 6 other ones, if you put them back together, it made the Vegapunk we saw in the flashback, but it does not seem to be the case at all. Copy of his personality. So he still has everything then, it should be. What does that mean? Number 5, Atlas, the Violent. I'm going to take these titles with a grain of salt because each translation is going to have different titles. Wait, what does that mean? Once every day, they synchronize their experiences and knowledge with Punk Records. Because their personalities and duties are distinct, each one's experiences are worthwhile and unique. Atlas, the Violent. Edison, the Thinker. Shaka, the good. Was the other translation was the logic. Lilith, evil. Pythagoras, the wise. York, the greedy. Okay, so we definitely don't have a 7 deadly sins going on here. Violent and evil. Good, wise, thinker. Evil. Well, it makes sense. Good and evil are like kind of like dynamic. But no other ones are kind of like antonyms or polar opposites of each other. Luffy just like not gonna comprehend any of this whatsoever, just thinking. And Jinbei saying, and they all use the same brain. This world of science just goes right over my head. Jinbei doesn't even understand either, fully. I think I kind of get it. Think of it like using the same library. If everyone in the world had the ability to access my brain, then all of humanity would essentially share my knowledge. So it's just up there, the cloud. And to take it a step further, all of humanity could mutually update punk records on a regular basis. We can create an entire sea of knowledge that far surpasses even my vast intellect. But how big would it just keep growing? Like, because I'm assuming that Egghead, wow, it's called Egghead, that's funny. I'm assuming that like the ring where all his like knowledge is being stored is also continuously growing. One day humanity will be able to share a brain. Oda's thinking of like some like computer science fiction stuff going on right here. Like having all of humanity, like instead of when people die, they put their brains in like software, like on like this big like online circuit board program thing. Would I be able to study medical algebra from all over the world? Of course, Chopper. Woo! He's just flying off into the sunset. Won't you have issues if ideology gets inserted on top of everything else? Well, Jinbei, first son of the sea, that's a very smart question to be asking. Him saying his title just flex his knowledge a little bit. But science will never advance if you spend all your time worrying about it. Pep 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 pep. Pep 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 pep. Pep 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 pep. Interesting laugh. Pep 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 pep. I'm guessing, oh, it's the sound because his tongue is out. Pep 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 pep. That's funny. Bonnie not looking happy. But that's just your problem, isn't it, Vegapunk? Your endless quest for scientific knowledge will spare no one in its greed, including my father, who you turned into a mindless weapon of war. I really want to hear the details about this, because there's definitely more to this than it seems. Okay, she's taking her lightsaber out. No, Bonnie, that beam saber was a failure. His tongue is long. Hold your tongue. It worked fine when I tested it. Now, turn my father back to normal. That's definitely not going to happen. And if you refuse, think carefully, Bonnie. If you kill him, you'll be making a very powerful enemy. Switch it off now, Bonnie. That's Jinbei talking, the voice of reason. Okay, so Bonnie is not fucking around. She wants Kuma, she came here with a purpose, Kuma to be turned back to normal. I do not see that happening in any way. The light from the beam is going to attract an enormous cloud of insects. Really? Insects? I mean, I guess, but that's so random. Where were the insects? I guess they're in a trash heap. So he said that, he's sweating, and then the insects are coming, and Bonnie's sweating a little bit, and she's crying. Oh, she's scared of bugs. Zap. Oh, did they all die? I think they just like, yeah, they got burned. They just went straight into the light. Bonnie frothing out cold right there. Luffy saying, Bonnie, check it out. Stag beetle. Forget about the stag beetle. Try being concerned about her passing out. I can't blame her. Okay, so Vegapunk doesn't seem to have a lot of ill intentions. Can't blame Bonnie for wanting to kill me. It's a good thing the weapon she grabbed happened to be a failure. I guess it was a failure in that sense. Oh, speaking of which, I understand that you folks were recently in Wano. Is it true that there was a second dragon in addition to Kaido? Momonosuke? Yeah, that was Momo. Then he must have eaten the failed devil fruit that I left behind in Punk Hazard. He did. Really? Wait, a failure? That was my attempt to grow a man-made devil fruit. We're about to get some devil fruit knowledge. I haven't been spoiled per se on anything, but I did see on Twitter sometimes... Oh, I just hit the microphone. I did see on Twitter some things about devil fruits, and people were saying, like, I think people were saying we found out more about devil fruits. I don't know what specifically was said, but I uninstalled Twitter. I'm staying off Twitter now because I hate it. But I didn't get spoiled, but I heard that people were talking about devil fruits. I saw, like, glimpses. I didn't get spoiled for anything specific. He says, I spent 20 years and an exorbitant research budget working from Kaido's bloodline element. 20 years! So that means they got their hands on Kaido's blood 20 years ago, or a long time ago, and then they had that for 20 years. But the fruit just didn't have the same qualities. Oh, so that's why he looked like Kaido. It was a success, man. He was big and strong and breathing fire and everything. He's the guardian deity of Wano now. And you made that happen? Amazing. So that's Luffy saying. Luffy's actually praising all this right now. We don't see a lot of that from Luffy. But what color is he? Pink, Luffy's saying. I told you, it's a failure, a failure. Oh, who cares about that? Great. He's a genius with a perfectionist streak. Okay. Yeah, because Momo's fruit didn't really have any downsides. I guess he couldn't control it that well at first, but that's devil fruits for you. But he thinks it's a failure because it's pink. I guess he wanted to be a perfect copy. Alright, now we're seeing the giant armor again. What about this robot then? Did you build this too? Make it move. No, I did not. Ooh. He did not build it. It's something from a long time ago. This is the legendary Iron Giant that is said to have attacked sacred Marijoa about 200 years ago. 200? That is after Nolan time, but we haven't talked about many things from 200 years ago. What, 200 years ago? But it was actually built 900 years ago. Okay, that makes sense. Are you joking? Its goal was never understood. They say there was no damage only because it ran out of energy. No doubt the scientists at the time were utterly shocked by this event. The sheer scientific power was beyond anything they could comprehend. 200 years ago, yeah. No one knows where it came from or what it was trying to do. The world government ordered it to be torn down and destroyed, but curiosity prevented the scientists from carrying out those orders. So it still rests here, and the government is none the wiser. Ooh, they don't know? Okay. I'm impressed that you found your way here. The route from the town should have looked like an impassable wall. I don't know. We were in a rush and we got all discombobulated. Discombobulated. Yeah, we just wandered down here. Whatever he said. Is that a word? I think that might just be a translation error. Well, sorry to hear that. Someone's talking. Oh, okay, so Robin and Frankie and all of them are watching Luffy interact with Vegapunk on this screen from the control room. Robin saying, 200 years ago, that was the year when fishman discrimination became a big issue. That I was actually gonna say. I was gonna mention fishman when I was just reading, like literally 2 minutes ago, that they said 200 years ago. I'm like, 200 years? We haven't heard anything from that. I did think in my not as big as Vegapunk brain, but my very good functioning brain when it comes to One Piece, that the only thing that rang a bell from 200 years ago was when we were in Fishman Island. They were talking about Fishman history. I'm pretty sure it was said either 100 or 200 years ago, fishmen were just considered normal fish. That was the only thing that came to my mind. I didn't remember this specifically. 200 years ago was the year that when fishmen discrimination became a big issue. So you're saying the robot climbed its way up the red line? Oh, this is Shaka saying this. Most likely, yes. I built the Vegaforce 1 using that robot as a guide. Oh, it does look like it. But there are aspects of it that even my scientific power is unable to recreate. It's hard to believe that this mechanical soldier was built 900 years ago. The Void Sentry, people, Lunarians, whoever you want to call them, they had some amazing technology that even Vegapunk, the smartest person in the world, with 6 of himself helping him out. What can't you recreate about it, Frankie? It's dynamic power source, says Shaka. In the past, they had a power strong enough to rewrite everything we know about the world today. Well, it's good to know that Luffy, Chopper, and Jinbei are alright, but who's the girl? That's Jewelry Bonnie the pirate, Usopp said. But I thought it was just a little girl who got shipwrecked. And look at Vegapunk's head. Wow, now back to Luffy and them. I feel bad about what I did to Bonnie. Yeah, you should. Get down and beg for forgiveness. Oh, what would you know about it? Luffy's just literally just saying anything. Bonnie, out cold still. There is something that I need to give her. Okay, it's good to see that Vegapunk, despite all his knowledge and all powerful knowingness that he seems to be, he does have emotions, and he does seemingly lack empathy? Or maybe not empathy, maybe sympathy. By the way, Straw Hat Luffy, wonder what he's going to give her. Maybe something Kuma related. I don't think Kuma can be turned back from what he is now. By the way, Straw Hat Luffy, I feel that fate was at work bringing you here today. Will you take me off of Egghead? Wait, is he actually captive? No, there's no way. Bro, Vegapunk? Yo, Vegapunk joining the Straw Hats? If you wanna be my friend. He's on the cruise. What? Okay, now we're going somewhere else. Robots outside of Egghead, burning up. This is Cypherpole requesting permission to dock at Egghead. Badly trained pets. Okay, so Cypherpole seemingly fucked up these like mechanical sea beasts. Ooh, what a panel. First I see Lucci, but then I see Kuma. We have eyewitness reports of Jewelry Bonnie sailing ahead, an obnoxious woman with all of her escapes. I believe we were finished with her already. So if we could see her, we'll disappear her for good. We got Lucci, we got Hattori, we got Kaku on the left with a beard, big beard. And I'm guessing Stussy on the right with the little ears. And then Kuma, but it is one of the sea frames because it's got the white hair. And he looks tan, but Kuma was tan before. So 3 strong fighters and one of the sea frames. Okay, now we're going back to Frankie and them. Pythagoras is saying, Shaka government ship. It's going to be hard to explain the pirates. For some reason, CP0 is on board. It's Rob. It's Lucci. He's wearing the mask and they still know it's Lucci. That's funny. What's the point of the mask then? So we'll just hand them over. Rob Lucci's an assassin, right? What? Rob Lucci? Oh, Usopp Nami. Come on, set my legs free so I can escape. Don't let him onto the island. Usopp Nami's shitting their pants. I mean, it makes sense. There's nothing to worry about, Robin. I'll protect you as many times as I need to. Oh, that was sweet. That was sweet. Sanji. First thing he thinks of is Robin and everything that happened with Rob Lucci and them. Everyone knows Lucci besides Brooke and Jinbei, I guess. Reply to the ship. Tell it to unload the sea frame and leave. Prepare to fight back. We are refusing entry to the world government. Yo, everyone on Egghead? So it's not just the real Vegapunk, it's the other ones too. We are refusing entry to the world government. Okay, what has Vegapunk and his personality copies discovered? Or what decision have they come to rebel against the government? Are they joining Dragon? Do they just not want to be a part of the government anymore? This is big. This is really big.
That's what she said!
Unload the sea frame and leave. Oh, we're going to Dragon. I just called that. I didn't call that, but like I just mentioned Dragon, so this could confirm it. Coming back at Queendom Grand Line. Dragon, Kuma's acting strange. He's here. Stop, Kuma. Wait. We're still repairing you. Oh my god. Kuma, everyone's here. Karasu, not Ivanka. Oh my god. What was the guy with the scissor fruit? Inazuma. Koala. What happened? Does the Navy still have control over him? So Kuma's open up. There's stuff coming out of him. But he's starting to move. Where are you going, Kuma? Running. Sprinting. Full Murasaki Bara style sprinting. Away from them. He shouldn't be fully mobile yet. He's not supposed to have a will of his own anymore. Falls down. What's going on? I don't know. Kuma, come back. Okay, he's just like running and he's just trying to run and fall. Dragon. What's wrong with you, Kuma? Where are you going? We've never seen Dragon. Never, ever seen Dragon with that much emotion on his face, ever. I don't need to look back to One Piece to think about that. You have to stay here. We're only getting started. This is where our revolution really begins. End of chapter. Whew. Very, very interesting chapter of One Piece. Okay, that was a good one to come back on. Not too much action, but a lot of information, a lot of speculation to be done here. So, Vegapunk. Okay. Some misconceptions, definitely. I thought he was being controlled or being held hostage by his 6 other ones, but no. They seem to be working in conjunction with each other. Not confirmed yet, but he does not seem to be a prisoner. You know, they have surveillance, they're all connected. Doesn't seem like anything bad is going on between Vegapunk and his 6 copies. Devil Fruit user, ate the brain fruit. Much more simple, and should have guessed it than I thought. I thought it was just some smart guy, he was born as a prodigy or whatever. No. Has fruit, lets infinite amount of knowledge be stored in his brain if he learns it. Makes sense, it's One Piece, should have guessed it. I wonder if the thing that he did with like cutting off his brain and like putting it at the top of Egghead was a technological feat or a part of his devil fruit or both. Because it would make sense that it was both, but it has to be more of a devil fruit thing to be able to like take his brain out or the space that the brain was occupying and put it somewhere else. Am I crazy? No. I feel like it's more of a devil fruit thing, but it probably has some technological aspects mixed in there. We learned a little bit more about Vegapunk himself too, in the sense that he is a perfectionist and he does have sympathy, it seems like. I don't know if he feels the same pain as other people, being so much smarter than them, but he feels bad when he should feel bad. Like, he feels bad for Bonnie and he wants to do something for her, and he actually says he has something to give her. Maybe it is a key to helping Kuma be turned back, giving his consciousness back. Yeah, I can see that happening. This is One Piece. Because Kuma is essentially dead now, in a sense. He has no personality of himself left. And you know how characters don't really die in One Piece, so that's definitely a possibility. It would take away of the impact of Kuma being gone, just because it was such a sad, depressing, like, fucked up thing that the government did. But in a sense, actually, it wasn't even the government. Maybe it was the government that ordered it. Maybe even not. Maybe it was just Vegapunk testing what he could do technologically. So it wouldn't really actually be a big blow to the story if Kuma did come back, because it was Vegapunk was the one that did it. Not like, you know, the government just trying to be as dastardly as they could, probably. Okay, so I take that back. So Kuma coming back wouldn't actually be that bad of a thing. It'd be great in the sense of Kuma, because Kuma's a cool character, and he'd be a great ally for the revolutionaries. And he's helped the Straw Hats out more times than most people eat. Throw their bark, could have finished them off, didn't. Shabondi literally separated them on purpose, giving them a chance to succeed as a pirate group. Had the message programmed in his brain to protect the Sunny after he was already lost his consciousness. So that was very good. Oh, Vegapunk was the one that programmed that in, probably. So that's something that'll probably come up too from Vegapunk. Yeah, wow, okay. A lot of cool stuff going on here. And now, at the very end there, Vegapunk seemingly wants to leave the island. He says, can you help me off, Egghead? And I'm guessing that the other copies of him are on board with that, because Shaka is saying, we're not allowing entry to CP0, and we will fight them if we have to. So, really interested to see where this is coming from, if there's a reason why, if Vegapunk's just done with the government, if the government has been giving him a bad end of the deal, if they are are threatening to cease his, abilities and his, facilities if he doesn't listen to them, or what I'm guessing happened. Well, it was probably some kind of combination of the three. I'm guessing that he's just kind of fed up the way the government's doing things, but more so that Dragon reached out. Because we saw in the flashback that Vegapunk and Dragon were acquaintances, but Vegapunk was saying, what can you and your poor army do? And then 2 years later, he founded the Revolutionary Army, shook the world to its core, we read that. So maybe now that Dragon is super established, maybe Vegapunk's thinking, okay, this is my chance, I've gotten what I've wanted from the government. I can go and just, help out Dragon, because, I got all the technology I need. I can go to Dragon now and help heal myself morally or whatever, because he probably doesn't. He's a smart man. Clearly, the smartest person in the One Piece world. You don't have to be the smartest person in the One Piece world to see how fucked up and bad the government is. So, it would make a lot of sense if he's gotten what he wanted from the government, so now he's going to cut ties with them and then go do something good, which would be helping the revolutionaries. I could definitely see that happening. And us flashing to the Revolutionary Army's headquarters, I feel like kind of confirms that a little bit, but it could also be just to show what was happening with Kuma. But we'll see. I have faith that that theory could hold some weight. And yeah, besides that, the only other thing that we learned was that the Iron Giant that was built around 900 years ago was last used 200 years ago. And that coincides with some Fishman stuff, so it could have been a potential attack on the world government or on Marijoa by the Fishmen, but how did it get to the bottom of the sea? Why is it on Egghead now? I mean, I guess the government probably ordered it to be destroyed, and maybe someone brought it to Egghead, scientists at the time, but why was it on Fishman Island? And more importantly, who on Fishman Island, or it might not have even been on Fishman Island, but it was definitely had Fishmen involved in the attack, because around 200 years ago was when discrimination got bad. Maybe that's when humans started going to Fishman Island a lot because of the bubble technology. That's definitely a possibility. But how did anybody get it working? Because Vegapunk and his personality copies, they don't understand how the energy source works for this Iron Giant. So how can them, seemingly the smartest people in the history of humankind and the smartest people on Earth ever since the people from the country in the Void Century disappeared, how could they not figure it out, but how could people from 200 years ago figure it out? Unless the people from the Void Century somehow, came back 200 years ago, if some of them weren't wiped out and just, got it started real quick and then dipped. But I doubt that. Really, really interested to hear more about what happened there. And I was kind of right when I said a couple chapters ago about Vegapunk and the people on Egghead not really being the villains for this arc, or the antagonist, I should say, and CP0 coming in definitely seeming like that's what's going to happen. It shouldn't be a hard rematch, at least for Luffy. I feel like maybe not worth Luffy going all out, but it should definitely be exciting to see what Rob Lucci and them have learned and how much of a fight they could put up now. Interested to see that. I feel like this will be more of a running away arc. It's not going to be a full out battle or war on Egghead. Maybe there'll be some exchanges and stuff, but I feel like they're just going to try to get the Vegapunks, get some technology, and dip. But we'll see. Anyway, this video's gone on long enough. it's already at 35 minutes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you like about this setup. Gonna still experiment, move some stuff around. Holding that tablet was not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. And yeah, like the video. Let me know in the comments below, which design do you like better for Vegapunk? The one with the apple stem where his head looks empty, or the Galaxy Brain? Because not gonna lie, I kind of like the Galaxy Brain from the flashback. If it kept growing, maybe it would start to look absurd, but I don't know. It was given Doug Dimmadome, and Junji Ito, and I was down for that. I kind of like the old Vegapunk design better, but I guess I'm okay with the Apple one too. But let me know which one you like better down in the comments below. And subscribe if you like this kind of content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.